All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what it really means to feel emotions deeply and how this thing that a lot of people might see as a weakness could actually be a set of pretty incredible superpowers. I mean, does this one ring a bell? You share how you're feeling, you react to something, and someone hits you with that line. You're just being too sensitive. It can make you feel like your reaction is, well, just wrong. And what about this? Hours, maybe even days later, your mind is still stuck on a conversation, just replaying it over and over. You're analyzing every word, every look. It can be absolutely exhausting, right? When you live like this, when you experience the world with this much intensity, it is so easy to start believing that maybe you really are feeling too much, that something about the way your brain is wired is off. I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. Just let it go. Don't overthink it so much. But for some of us, that feels totally impossible. And hearing that advice just makes it all the more frustrating. But here's where we're going to flip the script. What if this whole thing isn't a bug? What if it's not a flaw in your system, but it's actually a feature, a core part of your operating system? And look, this isn't just some nice thought. Psychology gives us a really powerful new way to look at this. It suggests that this habit of deep processing isn't random or wrong at all. In fact, it points directly to some very specific and pretty amazing mental traits. This right here, this is the entire shift in perspective. What so many of us have been taught to see as a burden, a flaw, is actually a sign of a genuine strength. It's a sign of high mental activity. And that's what we're going to unpack right now. So let's get into it. We're going to break this down into 5 specific strengths, 5 hidden superpowers that are incredibly common in people who feel and process the world this deeply. All right, let's kick things off with superpower number 1. This is really the engine behind all that replaying and, overthinking we were just talking about. So instead of just moving past an emotional experience, your mind naturally goes back to it. It's not about being stuck. It's about a deep need to understand. This is literally your brain's way of sorting through that rich emotional data to figure out what you felt and why you felt it. And all of that inner work, all that processing, it leads directly to our second strength. It's kind of the natural result of the first one. All that reflecting on what you said, how you acted, how it might have affected other people, that's not just anxiety. It's a form of really strong self-monitoring. It comes from a deep built-in drive to genuinely understand who you are. Now for number 3. This one takes us from your inner world and into how you see the world and the people around you. People who feel things this deeply are often masters of observation. Your brain is automatically scanning and picking up on all the tiny little details that just fly right past most people. Why? Because you're trying to get the full picture, the unspoken story, in every single interaction. And this is exactly what we mean. You're not just hearing the words somebody says. You're analyzing their tone of voice. You're catching those tiny, fleeting facial expressions. You're noticing little shifts in their behavior. You're reading the whole room, not just the script. Let's move on to our 4th strength. This one explains why certain conversations and interactions can feel so vivid in your memory, sometimes for years. Because you process these social moments so deeply, your brain essentially flags them as high-priority information. It treats these emotionally meaningful moments like critical data that needs to be saved. And the result is this incredibly strong, detailed memory for those events. And that brings us to our 5th and final strength. And honestly, this is the one that really ties everything else together. It's the root of this entire experience. So here's the bottom line. Your mind doesn't just switch off. It keeps working, analyzing, connecting dots long after an event is over. This isn't a sign that you're broken. It's the sign of a powerful, high-performance mind that is always active. So, after looking at all 5 of these traits, the conclusion is pretty obvious, right? It's time to stop fighting this part of yourself and to start embracing the incredible power of your deep mind. And get this quote from the research really just says it all. This isn't just a nice idea. Psychological studies directly link this kind of high mental activity to intelligence and to creativity. It's a feature, not a bug. So let's just put this idea to rest for good. Feeling things deeply is not a problem that you need to fix. It is a sign, a clear sign, of a mind that is thoughtful, intelligent, and deeply creative. I'll just leave you with this one final thought. What would change for you if you started treating that one thing you've always been told is your greatest flaw as the source of your greatest strength?